I think the other piece of the Medicare guideline with the 6 months, which is interesting and sometimes flavors a family or patient's decision to be admitted to hospice, is an example that I ran into a couple days ago with a patient. The patient had a terminal prognosis, uncurable malignancy, and the physician that was caring for the patient indicated that I'm going to make a referral to hospice because the benefit of hospice is under Medicare, I believe you have a prognosis of 6 months or less. The first visit I had with this patient, he had a calendar in his refrigerator, and the calendar was a 12-month calendar, but it only went to 6 months. There were circles around the month that we were in and X's through the dates of the month that had transpired. I asked him, so I saw your calendar on your refrigerator, what is that all about? And his response to me was, I'm counting the days down. So I said to him, counting the days down till what? He's there counting the days down until either I die or you discharge me from hospice. And I looked at him somewhat bewildered and said, explain that to me. I guess I don't understand where you got that. He said, well, the doctor that referred me to you said you have 6 months to live. He also said that the Medicare benefit is 6 months or less. So I figured one of two things was going to happen to me based on his conversation. I was either going to die in the next 6 months, so I was counting the number of days down, so once it got to the day after my 6th month, I would be dead, or I would be discharged from hospice because I've exceeded the 6 months. Great opportunity to re-educate and allow this gentleman to breathe and enjoy the life that he had in front of him. So we talked about the Medicare benefit. We talked about that had Medicare decided on 8 months rather than 6, his calendar would have looked very different. And we talked about that really it's not about the 6 months. That's what Medicare says, and the additional language that's written in there, if your disease were to progress in its usual fashion. We know that no two people's diseases progresses in the usual fashion. So my feedback to him was, live each day to the fullest, be reassured that your disease will continue to show evidence of decline. At 6 months, there is a recertification visit, house call that I'll be doing to you. If you're with us, God willing. And the purpose of that recertification is to document that you're still benefiting and you're still appropriate for hospice care. It does not mean that you'll be discharged after the 6th month. To which he gave me a big hug. He was like overjoyed over the fact that he could enjoy whatever time he had without this fear of either dying within 6 months or being discharged from hospice. And again, I think it's a point for me. Certainly his physician meant no ill will. But it's so important, the language that we use, the words that we choose to talk to patients and their families about. That was an example that he heard what he heard, and he took it literally. And what a shame had I not been able to uncover that he would have gone on for some period of time just not really taking full advantage of whatever time he has with his family.